Welcome everybody to part 2 of my reaction to Fountain of Lamneth from Rush. We just finished that song, listened to it all the way through. That is part 1. Link is in the comments and the description. If you're here though, you already most likely watched that video. So that wraps up Caress of Steel for us. It's been a little bit longer of a journey than it needed to be, but we are done with it and we will be starting on the next album hopefully tomorrow. So I'm ready for that. I am just loving this. That song, I don't know, again, I don't know really how you just wrap up a 20-minute song. I don't know how you just kind of analyze it, because in a sense, it's like, it feels like I just listened to an EP, or like, it's like 20 minutes is a lot of material, and they crammed a lot of stuff in there. One of you commented and said something about, you guys, it's been 2 weeks since Tim has posted his last video, and the thing is, he listened to the last song and he can't formulate his thoughts, so he'll be with us when he gets better, basically something to that extent. And that's hilarious, but I'm kind of feeling that way right now. Like, how do I wrap this up? How do I react to this? And I guess I'm doing it right now, and I don't know what it was about the song. I guess it's listening to it start to finish, just hearing all of it, hearing the talent, hearing the songwriting, and just listening. It's an experience. There's no other way to describe it. It's just purely an experience. And the thing about it, I don't remember anything standing out as being just insanely over the top. I mean, there were those drums there, maybe it was part 2 of that song or whatever, but that drums and stuff, I talked about that was nuts and super, super incredible. But then throughout the rest of it, I didn't feel like there was any huge standout part. There was no insane over the top drawn out guitar solo. There was no insane over the top out there transitions into a next part. Like there were definitely changes and transitions, and there was guitar playing, and there was awesome bass, but it's nothing as far as like playing and stuff that we haven't seen before, which is actually cool, because they're relying on the whole song instead of little portions. Like, you'll often listen to something, and for me personally, I'll be like, I really liked that riff, or I liked that guitar solo, and that's why I keep coming back to the song. But I don't feel that way about this song. I feel like the reason you keep coming back to it is for the experience, to put on, some headphones or put it on a good stereo system and just listen to it and kick back and just set aside the time to just do it. Or if you're doing work, if I'm sitting here doing work on my computer or whatever, like, just have it going. It's so easy to listen to, and it's so beautiful. There were a couple parts that I did really enjoy. I loved the contrast between, the soft kind of classical guitar and the acoustic guitars going on, and then the big sort of open chords. I always really enjoy that, because it's hard to mesh those two together. And a lot of people try it and they do it in a way that's not great, but I feel like here it worked. It didn't feel like, why do you keep doing that? Like, it just doesn't work. It clashes so hard. I feel like the way they did it, I don't know. It worked. And then later in the song, Alex is playing these big chords, and then he starts doing these arpeggiated chords, and it's such a full sound. It's such an awesome sound. And with the drums filling in the space, and Geddy Lee's doing this bass stuff, that's just the mixing of it and the production of it. Like, the playing's got to be there, of course, but the layering and the production really makes it work and makes it just so big and full, and they nailed it, and I thought it was awesome. The other thing about this song that I really enjoyed was the vocals. I've said it, I think maybe I said it last time. Geddy Lee's voice doesn't really stand out to me like a sore thumb like it used to. It used to kind of be like, where'd that come from? I don't really understand. Like, kind of clashes, you got this rock music, and then you got this really high, kind of shrill voice. I don't feel that way about it anymore. I feel like it just kind of blends in with the rest of it. And personally, I enjoy it a lot now. And the beginning of this song, I thought the vocals were fantastic. I thought the delivery and yeah, everything. I just thought it was really, really good. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to go back over this song and remember all this stuff that I wanted to talk about while it was going. But again, a 20-minute long song. That's a lot of music. So I guess the biggest thing I could say is that I don't know what to say other than, wow. I think this was a subdued showcase. They didn't have to prove a point with insane musicianship. They didn't have to prove a point with insane production. What they did was they wrote a very long piece of material and they did a little bit of everything. And I love that because I feel like there was almost enough of everything in this song that it's covered everything they've done up to this point. Like, oh, I've kind of heard that. That sounds familiar. We've seen that. There's nothing that just stood out as totally foreign. Everything was a little bit familiar, but hearing it all together in a 20-minute, like, condensed, it was awesome. Super, super cool. I really enjoyed that. At one point, I said Steve Vai when Alex was playing, and I know people hate comparisons, but that maybe was something new that I heard from Alex Lifeson, that sort of like really fast kind of sliding up and back down type of thing. Now, of course, that doesn't sound like Steve Vai. Steve Vai sounds like that, and it was cool to hear that sort of out there guitar playing in a piece like this. It kind of caught me off guard, and it was really cool. Definitely going to have to go back and listen to that. Well, I'm going to have to listen to the whole song again for sure. But that bit and that guitar playing, but yeah, the tone and everything about this, you guys, I could go on and on and on. But what do you say other than they're just amazing. Such a talented band. And I know that this album almost ruined their careers. But, going back and listening to it now, I don't understand the hate. There were a few tracks that maybe weren't my favorite, but on a whole, I think there is a lot of really good material here. So just pulling up the track list here and looking at it, I don't really think I disliked any of these songs. Some people thought for sure that I was going to hate I Think I'm Going Bald, and it was one of my favorites on the album just because I love the musicianship on it. Like, the music itself is awesome. Lakeside Park was also fantastic. A really good song, somewhat like a nostalgic type of song, sounded awesome. Surprisingly enough, the song that I enjoyed the least is the first one, Bastille Day. And while it wasn't a bad song to open the album, I remember saying, it sounded a little bit forced and not as like smooth and cohesive as some of the other stuff. And it was, maybe a little bit different. And I remember saying, didn't dislike the song, but it left me wanting a little more. And I still kind of take that stance on it. And so it may surprise some of you guys, but that's my least favorite song on the album. Let's see. If I had to pick a favorite, the one I just did, for sure. It has to be. There's so much going on, and it is such an absolute brilliant showcase of who these guys are that I can say, with no reservation, it's gotta be Fountain. So, all right, guys, I don't know what else to say about this. Personally, a good album. Maybe not in the, I think their second album to me maybe had more stuff that I enjoy more because it was maybe a little more short, a little more heavy. But this is kind of that move away. It's a transition. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, solid stuff. Definitely a little bit of evolution going on here. I'm looking forward to the next album. I think that's going to be awesome. I know you guys are waiting for me to get into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope to be seeing you for that. If you guys have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell icon so you get notified when new videos come up. Moving all the way through Rush. This is going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching this song. I'm going to have to gather my thoughts after I shut this camera off. And yeah, because just wow, wow, wow. And you guys knew that was coming. Really, really good stuff. All right, guys. I will be seeing you around. I am Tim. This has been an Out Loud reaction.